So the question everyone's wondering this weekend is Scream 7 any good? And I have pretty mixed feelings, honestly. Just to get the main thing out of the way. I think it's mid. At the best part of the movie, I think the movie's pretty mid. And I was hoping for a lot more with Kevin Williamson directing, just because he's always been a writer in the franchise and he's done several other things. And I thought directing, he could do a new movie justice. I thought they'd at least be on par with the Radio Silent movies, but it's just not that great. It's mediocre at the best moments and just not good at all at the worst moments. The best thing to me was when they were trying to play up that everybody wants Stu to be alive and be a killer in one of these movies. And I was really hoping that's what they would have done. I think that if they'd done that, that would have changed my opinion on the movie a lot. But they didn't do that. Spoilers. This is going to be a very spoiler heavy review, by the way, because I'm just going to tell it how it is. Some of the parts I did like, though, I like how they got the one of the friends is the killer out of the way, because usually it's always one of the main character's friends or whatever, one of the younger friends that's the killer. They pretty much did away with that. They kill all of Sydney's. Sydney has a daughter who's the main character. They kill all her friends within a 5 or 6 minute, or probably longer than that, but it's with all a couple scenes. So by the time it's even closer, revealing the killer, everyone's pretty much dead. So after that, you're like, well, who could it possibly be other than Stu? And if they went through the trouble of killing all the other characters, that would have made the most sense to me, was just have Matthew Lillard come back and play Stu, which he did in a lot of the movie, but it actually wasn't Stu himself. It was like an AI deepfake over the actual killers, who ended up being Sidney Prescott's neighbor and some dude that worked at the mental hospital and some other dude that was at the mental hospital and escaped. Literally, three people that had basically no relation to Sidney at all. Besides, the main motivation is that her neighbor and the guy that worked at the mental hospital were inspired by her book that she wrote around the time of Scream 4. And that was pretty much it. There's not really much motivation. I mean, there's nothing behind it. Like literally every other movie, there's some kind of motivation behind it. And you at least meet the characters for more than 5 minutes during the movie. And that just kind of ruined it for me. The killer reveal was not satisfying at the least. Because honestly, I was just sitting there during the movie. I'm just, what? And then they exposition dump on why they're even the killers, just trying to make it make sense. And I don't understand what Kevin Williams was thinking in this, because I had so much hope for this movie because he was directing it, and it just ended up falling flat on his face. And I wish it wasn't that way, but I mean, like I said, there's moments I do like. A lot of the kills are pretty cool, or different at least. Just some neat kills in general. And some of them are just stab, slash, whatever. And two of the previous characters, who I can't think of the name of right now, from the Radio Silent Scream movies, were in this movie working for Gale Weathers, Courtney Cox's character. And they have obvious fake out. Did they die or did they not die? It was such obvious fake out when it happened. You're like, of course they didn't die. Whatever. And then Sydney's husband during the movie gets stabbed 10 or 12 times in the scene, and then he's somehow magically alive. Hours later, in the same, not the same scene, but within the movie, hours and hours later, he's somehow still alive. I don't get that either. They were generally some suspenseful moments, I thought. The scene at the bar where all Tatum's, Sidney Prescott's daughter's friends get killed off. I thought that was pretty decent. And I thought the part where Sydney's husband is in his garage because he heard a noise and there's all the tarps and stuff. I thought that was pretty decent. And I didn't even mention the beginning of these movies is always a big thing. It was whatever. I guess it sets up the whole nostalgia feeling of the first movie. And that was the whole deal, was them even having Stu in the movie at all. even though it wasn't actually him. But the kills weren't anything like new. One character just gets stabbed through the side of the head, which is gory and it's kind of cool, but it's nothing we haven't seen before. And then the other character falls from a chandelier and just gets stabbed. And then the Ghostface in that scene just burns Stu Macher's house down. So I don't know. I had a lot higher hopes for this movie, and I know there's some drama behind this movie I've seen recently about the production. I don't really know anything about it to talk about it, so I'm sorry. But I had really high hopes for Williamson, whatever. And I hope if they give him another chance to direct one of these, I hope it's better. Because I know he can make it better. I just hope it is better. But genuinely, a lot of my problems with this movie would have been fixed by having Stu actually be the killer and changing how they even try to do the killer twist. Because the whole thing during the movie was like Stu calls Sidney and admits that he's still alive and he's the killer within the first 20 minutes of the movie, I think. It's pretty soon in the movie. So you're just kind of sitting there like, where are they going to spin this? And they do it in a very poor way with two characters you see literally probably 2 to 3 minutes each during a whole, I think it's like right at a 2 hour movie. I'm done ranting. I know I have a lot of problems with it, but I think overall I think of it as being pretty mid. Like if you average out how I feel about the whole movie, I think I would say it's probably a good 2.5, maybe 3 out of 5 stars. And I rated it 3 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. That was it. Not a whole lot more I can say about it without just griping about it some more. Some people like it, but that seems to be the main consensus of the movie on Letterboxd. Is it's got a 2.4 average rating on Letterboxd. So this is whatever. It's definitely my least favorite out of all of the Scream movies. It's got to be my least favorite. And I was really hoping for more from Kevin Williamson, being such a large player in almost all these movies, but things happen, I guess. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you'd like, and I will see you next week.